Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're back. We're doing a Kaldheim best of 3 draft. Our rare is Elvish Warmaster, which is a great card, very strong. Wants you to do a elf sub-theme, or a changeling sub-theme works too, but yeah, the 7 mana ability is quite strong, especially when you're spitting out 1/1 green elf warriors along the way, so happy to first pick that. There's also the Shadow Sage, which is a good card with it because it's an elf with a relevant ability with that. Finn, which is a card I like. I like Carter. I like Verdict. Disciple would be a good wheel. Lindworm is very playable in green. And the Troll and the Recluse, playable, not terribly exciting, but good pack all around. Quite a few good green cards in here, though, but that's okay. We'll first pick the Warmaster and see what happens. Alright, follow-up pick here. Well, we can go Gladewalker or Outrider. Gladewalker is in fact an elf, and it's a 2-drop, so it probably makes more sense than the Outrider. Usually finding the later game, I would say, is easier. The strongest card in here is Mrs. F by quite a bit, but I'd like to make the Warmaster work. I'm fine taking the Gladewalker here over an Outrider. And maybe wheel the Outrider. I don't know what wheels more often. I would presume maybe the bigger thing wheels more often, but we'll see. I'm happy to take a Gladewalker here, though. Perfectly fine. Playable 2-drop with certain upsides, being that it's a changeling. I also like the Usher. I like Shieldmate and Mistwalker. And there's Snowland in here, too. But yeah, we'll take Gladewalker. I'm okay with that. Okay, so we could take another elf here in Sculptor, or we could just take the Rootless Yew. I'm kind of up on Rootless Yew, especially this early. We find like a Lindworm or two, and this just really becomes big value. So even though we're taking it over an elf, I think the upside is fairly substantial. So I'll take a Rootless Yew. There's Turgid Shadow in here. I like Inga. Way Down is playable. I like Jarl, but just looking at cards for black-green elves, just because that's where basically all the elves are. But yeah, we'll take Rootless Yew for now. I think the upside is pretty substantial. So we can take the Lindworm now. I'm fine with that. We already get our package going, our little Rootless Yew Lindworm package, so I'm happy enough about that. There's Rune of Might in here, which is a good card. Especially if we get some equipment like Raven Wings or Pick, but Bergstrider in here as well, which is good. But yeah, let's just take the Lindworm now and be happy about it. Okay, so choices: we could take Stronghold or Roots of Wisdom. This is an elf card, but it tends to go late, but it would bring back our Elvish Warmaster, which is good. Koma's Faithful is an elf, so technically it works in this deck as well. I might just want the Stronghold in case black doesn't pan out, because there's no changelings in white, but this is like a free spell land, and I'm just not giving up much for it. Another Usher in here as well. If white keeps wheeling, it could work out well for us. We might lose out on some Warmaster synergy, but it's okay. I'm fine with taking the Stronghold here, I think. I like playing 18 land decks too, and the Stronghold really lets you do that. Elder Hall is just busted with Warmaster, because this isn't even when you cast an elf. It's just when an elf enters the battlefield. So this becomes a kill spell, puts us in the colors we want to be in, and it generates 3 elves with Warmaster out. So Elder Hall is absolutely insane here, and we'll take it. Okay, so Herald, great pickup. Now I just feel firmly in elves. Getting a 7th pick Herald after a 6th pick Elder Hall is a good sign for the archetype we want to play. So I'll take it. We don't really have to pursue Snow very hard either. This is also an elf. So now we're just getting all the elves. This is also an elf, but I like the Berserker more, especially if we get an equipment or 2. Also just has random synergy with Warmaster on its own. So cool. Oh, wow, we got the Shadow Sage back. Well, that is just really nice now. Could probably ditch the Stronghold. huge pickup for us. Very synergistic and good. And we are firmly in the archetype we wanted to be in at this point, so very good. All right, got the Outrider back. Happy to take it. Gives us a 5-drop. Doesn't actually work with the Rootless U, but it is an elf, and I've been fairly impressed with it. Just a 5-mana 5/5, but it's played well. So here we'll take Turgid Shadow. You know, there's a chance I could see us playing it, because we might just end up with a bunch of 1/1s. So I'd be more willing to sack 1/1s than my opponent willing to sack bigger creatures. This is a possibility. Something to think about. I mean, the potential upside of this card is quite substantial. Okay, getting Raven Wings is very nice because it works well with the Berserker. It's also going to work well with... I thought there was another thing that was going to work well with. Maybe the Rune of Might if we wheel it, but I'm going to take it over a Dread Rider and be happy enough about that. All right, Roots of Wisdom is actually perfectly playable in here. We already have quite a few good elves, not the least of which is the War Master, which is going to be a big target, so bringing that back is huge. But even getting the Shadow Sage or Herald back is quite good, but let's take a Pursuit here. All right, great. Excellent pack 1 for us. Blood on the Snow, you know, that's a good card in a vacuum. I don't know about for us, unfortunately, because we just don't have the snow yet to support it. But, you know, it's a rare, it's got big upside. It's probably substantial enough where I take it over a Snowland. And now maybe I just keep my eye out for snow. Another thing to think about is I'm really not giving up much in this pack. A Priest, we don't have snow yet, so it's not worth it. Glittering Frost, playable. And it would ramp us, it's probably fine. But, I mean, this is a rare. It's a good effect. At the very least, if it doesn't make the main deck, it's a fine sideboard card to have. But, I mean, I'd like to play it. We'll see if the snow pans out for it. Okay. Well, I've actually come to kind of appreciate Jaspera Sentinel. There's also Wither Crown. Considering we don't have any removal, I might need to consider that. I guess you can count Blood on the Snow as removal. Raise the Draugr would actually be quite good in here. I would say I like it more than Roots of Wisdom, too. And like I said, I can take the Wither Crown, seeing as it is actually removal. Does not synergize well with Turgid Shadow, however. I might just take Raise the Draugr. It seems like a pretty strict upgrade to Roots of Wisdom. And we already have 5 elves. Pretty substantial amount of elves. 6 elves if you count the Shapeshifter. So... there's also Savella, which I could consider splashing, but we're kind of on a good path right now. I'm just going to take Raise the Draugr. If I get back Jaspera Sentinel, that would be nice. Okay, so one of the things I would definitely take over a Snowland in this deck would be like a Packmate, which isn't even an elf, and in fact we're passing 2 pretty good elf cards for it, but it's just so good. I cannot stress enough how powerful Packmate is. It's a really wonderful card. Always great value. Very difficult to pass it, even when you're in an elf deck. So we'll take it, see if we get the bow or the Outrider back, which would be very good. All right, we can take another Raise the Draugr. I don't know, that might be excessive. I'm fine taking a Vandal here. It's actually another elf, and it gives us more removal, which is nice. It is some anti-synergy with the Raise the Draugr. And, well, kind of anti-synergy with Roots of Wisdom. Roots mills you, so you could argue that it feeds the Masked Vandal, but I'll take a Masked Vandal here. It's a good card. A solid pickup for us. So we could take the Mentor now. Mentor does give us some Elvish War Master synergy. In a vacuum, not the most exciting card. I could see the argument for taking a Jarl here because we've got these little piddly things that if they die, it's pretty nice to just be able to kill something. It's kind of a removal spell too. Or we could take Skull Raid, which is a card I like. I'm kind of on board with taking Jarl here over an elf. I mean, the more elves you have, the better. Maybe for Shadow Sage too, but I think we're going to get enough elves, and considering we basically have no removal in here, I mean, I guess you count Blood on the Snow as removal and Turgid Shadow. We really don't have, like, targeted removal in here, though. All right, I think an easy sculptor. It's an elf. We could find some snowlands. If we don't, not a huge deal. It's a elf grizzly bear at worst in here, so I'm kind of okay with that. Okay, so here's some choices. We could take the elf. This is actually a King Harald's Revenge deck, but usually this goes like last. Or we can just take the Draugr's Helm. Coma's Faithful being an elf here. But you know what? The upside of Helm is quite substantial, I think. Kind of turns all your little dudes into bigger dudes. I'm going to take the Helm. I'm passing on some elf synergy, but I think it's okay. All right, Broken Wings at the very least is a good sideboard card, so I'll take it. I personally like Draugr's Helm. I think it's a good card. Paying 5 mana for a 4/4 Menace token that you can then start moving around to your little dudes to make them bigger and have Menace. It's pretty substantial upside. Okay, we can take Village Rites. We have little things to throw away to it. And it kind of looks like snow's getting cut, so I'm not sure if Blood on the Snow is going to be worth it. 6 mana to destroy all creatures might not be quite enough upside for me to do it. I'd almost rather just do a Turgid Shadow. Don't need any of these. I'm not going to play a random Snow Island. Guess I'll take a pet, just to cut black. I'll take another Outrider. I'm okay with that. We can still play 18 lands and count Skimpar Elder Hall as a spell, basically. I'll pass all of these cards and just take a Longboat that I'm not going to play. So grand total with Elf and Shapeshifter, we're up to 9 elves, which is a good elf count. All right, another Turgid Shadow. Consider it. Take the weaker of these two cards. I guess they're both pretty weak. All right, we did get that last big King Harald's Revenge. There's a chance we do it. Can take another Rootless Yew here. We still only have the one Ravenous Lindworm we can find, but otherwise I could take the Death Knell Berserker, get another cheap elf. We do have a couple pieces of equipment to put on it. And there's Elderleaf Mentor as well. We didn't wheel Jaspera Sentinel, which is kind of surprising. And we're getting quite a few top end now, so I don't know if I want another Rootless Yew. We might want to work on our early game now. Dragonkin Berserker is quite strong, by the way. I probably am okay with another Death Knell Berserker. Yeah, you know what? We'll stay busy early. And like I said, we have enough late game. We'll focus on getting that early game online here, so kind of a miss here. I guess Pyre of Heroes. This card is very difficult to make work, and we don't have the Jaspera Sentinel to find our War Master. So it's probably not worth it. Another chance to get another Rootless Yew, or we could take the Draugr's Helm, or we can just take the Sinkhole. I'm kind of okay with taking Sinkhole. There's still a chance that we get enough for Blood on the Snow. If you get 2 Snowlands out, and actually Sinkhole at least does something for our Sculptor, so that actually makes sense. We're not passing anything we need, and we're actually getting something that benefits the deck, so I'm okay with that. Can take the Snow Swamp here too, but I think we just take that Elder Hall and never look back. Great pickup for us here. Very good card in a vacuum, and obviously very strong for us. So Mammoth Growth versus Pick, and there's Woodland Chasm, so Woodland Chasm probably just good enough to take here. I like the pick, but it's a Snowland that fixes for both of our colors, so that's actually very good. Wow, that's awesome. Really happy to see this card since it's a rare. And the fact that it can bring back our War Master is obviously substantial. Buff our elves. Yeah, that's really good. That's cool. So we'll take that. And passing a lot of elves in here actually, but easy Harald unites the elves, so that's nice. Pretty cool. Okay, so we have some choices here. Way down is targeted removal, but now we actually have quite a few ways to bring cards back from our graveyard. Raise the Draugr and Harald unites the elves. I think there was even one more, Roots of Wisdom, but we're probably not playing it. I might just take Mammoth Growth. I could take the Wither Crown too. We've got the Turgid Shadow though. You know what? I'm okay taking Mammoth Growth here. We're not going to really have targeted removal, but Mammoth Growth I feel like deals with most things. It might not even make the deck anyway. So Duskwielder I feel like is more of a beatdown card. So probably the Berserker. We still have the 2 pieces of equipment, and we have ways to buff it. So I think Berserker's actually just going to be pretty solid in here. All right, Glade Walker's a nice pickup. It actually gives us more Berserker synergy, as well as puts another elf in our deck, which is just gotten good now. I guess I can take the Mentor. We don't have more than one thing to find with Rootless Yew anyway. So this deck is obviously very good. We ended up with more than enough elves. 13 elves, which is very good. I think we're probably off the Blood and the Snow plan, even with 2 Snowlands, because the Snowlands are still good with the Sculptor, so that's good. I mean, I suppose we can take another Draugr's Helm. We've got so much expensive stuff, I don't think we need it, but I don't know if the first Village Rites is going to make the deck either. All right, I'll take a Skull Raid. It's a good card. I don't think we're going to end up playing it, just because this deck has a lot of goodies now. Probably not doing the King Herald's Revenge either, even though it's kind of... This is probably a deck where it's at its best, but I think we just don't need it. A lot of good stuff in here. But we have a lot of cuts to make. And we're running 18 lands still. Probably off Blood in the Snow, yeah. I don't know about Turgid's Shadow either. I have to think about that. I might rather... You know what? I'd probably rather just do Mammoth Growths. It's kind of more targeted removal. Got the... You know what? Wither Crown probably still makes the deck. We'll see. See if I've got space for it. Turgid's Shadow may be a better sideboard card. I don't know. The fact that we have tokens actually makes Turgid's Shadow pretty good, but... Alright, and this is both colors. So, we got a lot of cuts to make. I think I might want to cut the... Well, got like a boatload of creatures, right? 17. These are... Whoops. Get back in there. These are 5-drop creatures. So we have a ton of 5-drop creatures. I guess this is more of like a 4-drop. Yeah, we've got some real choices to make here. I think I'm going to get off the Shadow. It's cool. It's just, I don't think we need it. I don't know if we need the Jarl either now. Don't need this many 5-drop sets for sure. So let's get rid of the Revenge. Probably don't need Double Helm. And I might even get rid of 1 Outrider. I still like the Yew Lindworm package. I think it's good, even though it takes away from our total elf count. Lets us curve out a little bit better too. This is 17. I could cut a Mammoth Growth. And we're still at 17 creatures with the Helm. Removal wise, we're just looking at a Wither Crown, a Mammoth Growth, and some Elder Halls. Jarl. It's not bad. What are we looking at color-wise? More green than black, and we have double green, so we probably want to do an extra green mana. Although we already kind of have the extra green mana, so... Yeah, I guess we just throw a swamp in there and call it a deck. This would be 9, 10, 10 green, 10, 9. We want that black early too, though, for our Berserkers. It's a good looking deck. It's a little removal light, but it looks good. I like it. It's a cool card too. I like this Herald Unites the Elves. So, cool. All right. I'm happy. Got two pretty good elf rares here too, with the War Master and the Heraldry Knights the Elves. So, and our elf count is probably pretty substantial. 9, 12 elves, pretty good. 12 out of 17 creatures, so the majority of our deck is elves. So I like that. Yeah, I'm satisfied. I think we'll run it like this. And yeah, we'll see you round 1. I actually just realized we have more elves than I even counted. I only said 12, but that wasn't counting the 2 Skimfar Elder Halls, which definitely I think should count as elves. So, and removal even. So we have more removal with them and more elves. So really, really valuable to have these in the deck. But I guess that puts us at like 14 elves, which is very, very significant. Okay, we'll see you in round 1. All right, game 1, it's a keep. We got a turn 2 Berserker. Not much else action in here, but we have the Elder Hall too, so I think it's worthy of keeping. Okay, Lindworm. We'll attack here and play the Elder Hall. Necromancer's a good one. So we can do Raven Wings here. You know what? It's probably worth it. Could have played the Mentor, but now if they kill the Berserker, I still get a 2/2, which isn't bad. Oh, maybe I don't. So we'll go, I guess we go land Mentor. Man, Necromancer's sweet. Guess we'll just block here. Oh, that's a good draw. So I can play the Lindworm here, but I can also do the Elder Hall. They're both pretty good. I think I want to do the Elder Hall to kill in the Courser, because then I can still follow up with Lindworm the next turn. And that way, if they have removal, it might be good for me. It also gives me 2 tokens to maybe trade off the Oracle with. Maybe I should have attacked with the Mentor first in retrospect. But I guess this keeps the Necromancer back. You know what? Even though these can get better with the War Master, I'm fine trading them off. Kind of feels like free value. Our Skimfar Elder Hall took care of 2 cards at that point, so it's pretty satisfying. I'll get rid of the 2 lands. Might keep us off Lindworm, but it seems okay to me. Alright, Packmate's a good draw. Particularly if we draw a land, so I'll play that. Alright, so we'll pass. 3 color, huh? Raise the Draugr would let us, I guess, not get anything back currently. We probably play the Helm. It makes the best use of mana. Another option is to play the Raven Wings, equip the Packmaster. Maybe that's better to protect ourselves. Or the Packmate, rather. Does not make the best use of mana. But it probably makes sense. I feel like protecting our life total seems kind of important right now. It's a bummer that Raise the Draugr kind of gets hosed by Necromancer. Sure. Alright. Alright, Elder Hall gives us more removal, maybe for Vega. So we probably just go tap land and Draugr's Helm and pay the price here. So guess we'll pass. So this is gonna let them play the Packmate, but I think we do it anyway. So, best use of mana to have 7. Elder Hall takes 6. It's probably the Lindworm. So I can attack with the Draugr's Helm, and they don't really have great blocks. They can block with Packmate plus Vega, but they just kill a token. I think I'm okay with this. Like, they can block with Vega plus Packmate. They also don't get a dude back. So I guess Vega probably can reap them more value, so I'm okay with this. Like, we have the Raven Wings, but now we don't have to worry about getting swung on by a flyer this turn. So we probably just go... So I should have attacked first before playing the Lindworm. It would have been better for the Skimfar Elder Hall. But we have to decide what we want to do now. I mean, I guess it makes the most sense to just get the Lindworm online, see what happens. I still have 6 mana in case they have a bounce spell, so I think I'm just going to smash like this. And then I'll probably equip the Helm on... they don't have the mana to use the War Master's ability, but War Master still might be more valuable. I guess I'll do it on the Mentor. All right. They're digging. Wonder if they're gonna... Well... I think we'll take it. Interesting, okay. So, we can attack with everything here. Let's kill Vega. Get a 3rd elf. Can just attack here. And pass. So let's see. Can attack with everything, but it might just be safest to go for our flyer here and just get in there for 9 from above. Alright. So we got game 1. Necromancer is very good, and there's not a ton I can do about it. And actually, I'm glad I don't have Turgid Shadow, because Turgid Shadows are not good against the shield mates. They have some flying too. They have the Courser and the Raven. They've got some spot removal that exiles, which is totally relevant against us. We have Broken Wings, which at this point is definitely worth it. They have multiple Vegas, plus Raven, plus Courser, so we're going to be able to find some targets. I really wish I could do something against that Necromancer. Can bring in more token stuff. Like I can drop an Outrider and bring in a Helmet. And essentially we get a 4/4 Menace instead of a 5/5 Elf, which lowers our Elf count, but actually gives them less tools to utilize with the Necromancer. Because we're just going to have tokens. Gives us more equipped targets too, I guess. But is it exile it if it would die exile instead? Jeez. So we don't even get the... because it's an instead effect, we don't even get the... Same with you, too. This has to die. Necromancer's quite good against us. So I bring in Broken Wings. Could see maybe cutting... Well, Wither Crown is an actual way... Yeah, Wither Crown's an actual way to deal with it. That's nice. I thought I traded the 5-drop for a Helm. Oh, but I brought in Broken Wings. It could drop Mammoth Growth. Kind of like Mammoth Growth. It's a way to deal with the Necromancer too. It could drop a creature instead, but I kind of like all of our creatures as well. I guess we'll drop a Mammoth Growth for some targeted removal against their flyers. Alright. It's a good hand. Herald potentially into another elf, into or Raven Wings into Herald, into maybe Herald unites the elves, just because it can bring an elf back. I forgot, are we more black? We have double green, so I can probably drop a black here and be okay. I could have actually dropped the Herald. I would have missed my 3rd turn, though, but it would have gave me a guarantee with the Herald unites the elves, but ultimately probably not worth it. I mean, we are running 18 lands, so I would hope that would be good enough here. We'll see. So, actually missed there, unfortunately, which is actually very, very surprising because we have a absolute metric ton of elves in this deck. But I would hope that means that... It makes things a little more difficult, although now I can... That's funny. I don't have anything to exile, and I can't play Herald Unites the Elves, and I can't... That's tough. Alright, I guess we pass. Could have dropped Raise the Draugr, too. I wonder if that would have been better. Now that I'm missing a land drop. It's tough. So we got the 4th land now. How do we want to do this? We can do Herald Unites the Elves, but if we don't get an elf back, it's kind of not doing anything. Probably makes the most sense to just do the Mentor. It gives us 2 elves. And gives us a Raven Wings equipped target. Maybe they'll kill the Mentor, but if they do, it's not a big deal either. Then we at least have a target for Masked Vandal. Vega here, sure. Okay, Jarl. So I guess now we'll just equip the Mentor and do this. and then pass. Okay. Unfortunately, Exile is quite good here because it doesn't let us get any action. So it's kind of tricky. Choices to take 6. I don't really want to take 6, but I think we will. I think I might need to equip up my my elf here potentially. So I suppose the plan is Raven Wings here, and then leave up Jarl to block the Disciple. So this is actually okay. We can block here. We'll go to 8. Still don't quite have a creature in our yard yet. So we'll kill the Raven. Berserker's good. That is nice. So I suppose we'll just do... I guess we'll attack with Jarl. And then we'll go Berserker. And we'll equip it. So that way if it dies, it'll go to our graveyard for Vandal to get our Herald back. Rootless Hue's a good draw. It also gives us some action. So that's nice. I suppose for that reason I'm good with just getting in with the Jarl here. Yeah, I'm fine with that trade. So we'll drop a U. And then pass. Another Vega, sure. So, I guess we can... How do I want to do this? We don't have any elves. I don't put them on a 2-turn clock if I attack with Berserker, so we probably just attack with the U. And then I probably just drop a Helm. Which, at the very least, gives us another body on the board that has Menace. And then I threaten lethal next turn, I guess. Alright, they're looking for some action here. Oh, well, gonna miss out on a little bit of Lindworm synergy, but this seems good to me. So we get in for 7, and then we'll play the Lindworm to gain some life. And have a lot of big fat bodies on the board. Alright, we'll see you for round 2. Okay, round 2. This hand's a little bit slow, but we'll keep it. Mentor and Sage actually work kind of well together. And if we can at least draw enough lands to play Lindworm, I feel pretty good. Simic is definitely a good archetype in this format. Oh, wow. Playing a lot of colors there, huh? Well, it's kind of cool is we can go Mentor into maybe eventual Elder Hall value. Oh, Tasky, huh? Yeah, Tasky's a good one. I don't think we have a way to deal with Tasky either. Oh, wait. That's hilarious. I say we don't have a way to deal with Tasky while I've got a Skimfar Elder Hall out. That's funny. I take it all back. It's actually nice. I'm amazed with how much Skimfar Elder Hall has already done for us, so that's pretty cool. So, options here. I think, you know what? I'm ready to jam a Shadow Sage. It also blocks a Narfi, which is pretty relevant, I would say. They also don't have the triple snow to bring back Narfi, but whatever. I'm going to play Shadow Sage and be happy about it. We miss out on a little Skimfar Elder Hall value, but this is fine. Well, 2 can play at this Ravenous Lindworm game, so we'll probably do that. And we have to raise the Draugr to get it back too, so I'm happy enough about that. Sure. I'm willing to trade these off. Like I said, we have to raise the Draugr, so we can get it back. Okay. Sure. So, best use of mana is to simply... It's too bad that exiles. There's actually quite a few exile effects in this format. So we'll take care of Toski and get our elves here. It's good use of mana. I can blow up the replicating ring too, but I don't want to get rid of the... I don't want to get rid of Lindworm. So let's just get in for 2 here. And actually, they can get Narfi back now, but that's fine. So we'll do Berserker. Yeah, we'll foretell this. And then we can raise the Draugr back. Our, wait, they didn't... Oh, they forgot? Or did it get exiled? Oh, it got exiled. It got exiled because of their own card there, huh? Wow. That's kind of funny. Toski is very good, though. Toski's very strong. We're just fortunate to have double Skimfar Elder Hall in here. This card has really shined so far in this draft in particular. I mean, this card does everything we want it to do. Deals with Indestructible, kills their flyers, gives us elves, gives us chump blockers, works with War Master, gives synergy with Herald, even though we Unice Elves, even though we haven't done it yet. That's pretty sweet. So what does their deck have? Their deck has Crush the Weak, which is pretty amazing against us. I mean, they did not do it very well that game at all, but it's certainly good against us. Exiling, especially just because we have ways to bring stuff back from our graveyard, a couple, as a matter of fact. So that's tough. Do I still like Wither Crown? Well, sort of. I mean, it deals with Narfi. It doesn't really deal with Narfi the way you want it to, though. It does deal with Ravenous Lindworm, and they've got to have some other beefy stuff in there, so I probably have to keep it around. Yeah, I really wish that they didn't have the exile effects. So I guess, I mean, once again, I could swap Outrider for a Helm, but I'm okay running the Outrider. Broken Wings can blow up a replicating ring, but that's it. And the only way I have to deal with Toski is 2 Skimfar Elder Halls. I think I just have to be happy with that. Actually, Turgid Shadow deals with it too, doesn't it? All right, you know what? All right, I'm actually gonna swap Mammoth Growth for Shadow. This might not pan out, but if it does, I'll be happy about it. We won't bring in both. We'll just bring in one. Mammoth Growth just seems like something we can lose, but getting rid of I mean, Turgid Shadow's not great against Narfi, because they can just get it back, but that's okay. So we're on the draw. I really want to keep this, but it's probably too dangerous, even with our 18 lander. I mean, we do have 17 draws that are good, and if you do the math on that, it's more than 50% chance that we draw a land. So we get 2 coin flips to draw our second land. If we do get our second land, we can play the Packmate. Maybe this hand is a keep. Even if it's a tap land, I just play that unless I draw it the second turn. And the upside on this hand is pretty substantial. It's all elves with Herald Unites the Elves. I guess other than the Packmate, but But like I said, we have 17 lands we can draw, 33 cards left in the deck after this. So it's greater than 50% chance, and we get 2 opportunities. I'm gonna try it. Because 1 land and we get Packmate online, and with Packmate online, at the very least, we can hopefully rip into some more lands. Alright, so I think we'll discard. It's something that we'd want to get back with Herald Unites the Elves. It's probably the Shadow Sage then. Because that's the one where if we already have a couple elves out, it's probably better for us. It's also 4 mana. So now we can do the Packmate. Well, they didn't get a crazy start on us, so that's good news. Alright, we'll do the Elder Hall. So now we have a Toski answer too, which is nice. We don't have black mana yet, but we do have like some pretty good stuff to play potentially. Let's see if it jam a Lindworm. They do. So I don't have a ton of ways to deal with that right now. Let me think about this. So I probably just jam a Gladewalker. Put a counter on the Packmate. That way I have a chump blocker for the Lindworm. Curious what they're going to name. Warrior. Okay. I wonder how many warriors they have. Alright, so I guess we play a War Master and pass. Admittedly, this hand did not pan out the way I thought it would. Well, Snakeskin Veil is actually kind of good against us because of the Elder Hall. So that's something to keep in mind here for Game 3. So, I guess lesson learned. I did think that hand had a pretty good chance of panning out, but we definitely got punished by not drawing lands. So, ultimately it didn't pan out. But I still think we're geared probably as good as we're going to get for them, so we'll just run it back. Alright, we'll play first. It's a lot of lands, but we have the Packmate. I think we just keep it. And Elder Hall, like I said, is in fact like a spell for our deck, so I'd say it's just fine. Well, Sculptor's cool, but I'd rather do the Packmate. Because we don't have a... If we had a Snowland, it would make much more sense to do the Sculptor there, because then we could just do turn 3 Packmate and progress the board faster, but this is fine. So they have all 5 colors in there. I'm just kind of surprised I didn't notice that before. So we'll get the Packmate. That's cool. We'll land. So next turn we can go Sculptor and Foretell Jarl, which doesn't seem bad. They found a they found a pretty good thing there. So what do we want to do here? Probably just go Sculptor Gladewalker. And we're kind of like setting up for a nice Skimfar Elder Hall into Skimfar Shadow Sage with 4 elves out. Sure. So what's cool about this is I can attack with the Packmate, they can double block, and I'll actually kill both of their guys. Which is actually quite nice. But I also can just get in with Sculptor plus Packmate here. Because my thought is that they're still going to double block the Packmate. Or not. And they're squashing that. Okay. That's fine. So that'll go off. And then I guess we can jam a Jarl. There's still 2 mana from... you know what? I'm kind of okay with this. The reason I'm okay with this is I can deal with Herald next turn. Alright, Toski. So we have our own Lindworm now too, which is nice. So I might just want to jam a Lindworm here. I think so. They have to attack with Toski, so this kind of makes sense to me. I'm actually not going to attack. Oh, wow. That's cool. What does this let them do again? They get to reveal cards from the top of their library and do stuff with it. That's cool. They don't have green mana up, so I think this is just... We're actually just going to do this. They can do whatever they want with Toski. We're just going to get in for 1 billion damage. And actually, they're dead to Shadow Sage now, so it's putting them in a tough spot. Because we're going to hit him for 5 with this Shadow Sage. I think I'm actually going to block here. I don't want them to randomly draw something like a Disdainful Stroke or something like that. So we can still just go for lethal here. See what happens, see if they counter it. I should have played the Berserker first, but that's okay. Alright. We'll see you for round 3. Alright, we're in the finals here, and this is a keep. A little bit slow, but that's just fine. We've got a great late game plan with this deck, so this hand is very good. Mentor into blowing up Elder Hawk, killing something, into Shadow Sage. I mean, those are some pretty cool potential things we can do here. Gold Maw Champion. Well, that one's interesting. They're aggro colors, so I might be okay doing Wither Crown. It prevents... So if I do Wither Crown now, it prevents... You know what? It's probably okay to do. My thinking is, it prevents 2 damage now. If they want to pay 1 life so they can tap stuff down, it's okay. It turns out they don't want to, so Wither Crown was 2 mana removal spell there, which I like. They have another champion. Herald Unites the Elves is here as well, but for now we're just going to do the Mentor. And I'm satisfied with that. Can set up for a nice Herald Unites the Elves now. Especially if they, like, kill an attack Um, particularly if they kill one of our guys here. I kind of want them to use a removal. Just because we immediately get value off Herald guaranteed. Burgie, huh? Alright. There's Mass Vandal. This is interesting. I'm kind of okay with attacking with the Mentor here, because I don't think they're going to block anyway, and then I'll play the Shadow Sage. We miss out on a little bit of drainage here if they don't block. If they do block and trade, then I just play Herald Unites the Elves. If they don't block, we're looking good. So either way, we're looking good. I'm going to play this now, and I'm just going to drain them for 4. So they go to 13. We have 3 blockers. If our Berserker dies, we're guaranteed to get something back with Herald, even if we miss. Or I can use Mass Vandal. Yeah, this seems fine to me. And now I have something I can kill with Skimfar Elderhall too, which seems good. Oh, well, I guess I'd much rather kill the Valkyrie because it flies. That's weird. Wonder why they're attacking. Well, I'm going to block. Let me think what. I'm actually going to double block. Because with 2 red up, it's making me think it's like Frostbite or something. So this seems good to me. Like, is their plan to just Frostbite? Oh, run amok. That's actually, it turned out okay, surprisingly. It actually turned out really good for us because we prevented damage. And now we're going to set up for a really nice Herald Unites the Elves. So what's cool is we can go land Elderhall, blow up the Valkyrie, get rid of their flyer or whatever. Pass. Herald Unites the Elves with Shadow Sage is going to be really good for us. Sure. Sure. So they're out of cards in hand, which is good. Now we can do Herald Unites the Elves. Do I have more creatures in my yard? I wish I did. Although it's not like Mass Vandal has any targets anyway, so actually that's fine. We'll do this. Oh, I should have played the Vandal first, though. Whoops. Yeah, I could have brought him to 6 instead. Because I do think I'm playing the Vandal. Yeah, that makes sense. Whoops. My bad. Especially with putting a counter on each of my guys. So they could do double boast this turn. Attacking with everything, huh? It's pretty bold. Once this pumps my team, they're going to go to 9. They can go to 10. Let's say they give something... Well, if they give something double strike, they can't use the warrior. So they go to 10 if they boast again. I almost don't mind if they boast again. Let's see. Because if they use the mana, they go to 10. These get pumped. I'm kind of okay with just blocking the Story Seeker with the Vandal. Because then if they boast, they kill my Vandal. They go to 10. I'm smashing them for like a billion. Yeah, I think I'm okay with this. I mean, them tapping out seems very good for us. Yeah. So, I would say that they're pretty much dead here. Alright. So we got game 1. So they're like a hyper aggro sort of thing. Good looking deck. Run amucks, and we've got cheap stuff here. So, might be in our best interest to lower our curve if we can. I don't need Raven Wings. I don't need to fly over top of their stuff. So what can I bring in that's... Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of cheap stuff. I could do Turgid's Shadow. All their stuff is... I mean, making them... Certainly worthwhile to make them sacrifice. Otherwise, I'm doing like Mammoth Growth or more top end. Neither of which I really want to do. I could do Skull Raid, but I don't love that either. I'm okay doing Turgid's Shadow. Potentially a cheap way to get rid of some things. I wonder if Raise the Draugr is too slow too. Like, we have enough value in this deck where I can just drop stuff like this and bring in Turgid's Shadow to potentially kill some of their things. Wither Crown gets a little bit worse, but I'd be surprised if they pay the life each turn. Although they've got bow stuff, so this is not a great... Honestly, this is not a great Wither Crown matchup. I could see maybe doing Mammoth Growth instead, especially if I've foretold it, because then it's a good counterspell to their Run Amok, too. For 1 mana, potentially. Yeah, I don't love Wither Crown here, sadly. But the problem is I don't love Wither Crown, but I also don't really love Mammoth Growth that much either. But Wither Crown is significantly worse if I'm running 2 Turgid's Shadow. I think I will actually swap this for the Mammoth Growth. Might not pan out for us, but we'll see. That's a keep. Uh-oh. So go Gladewalker into Gladewalker. Well, that's a good draw, because Berserker into Gladewalker still gives us a 4/4 that can block the pup. And even if they have like a Run Amok to kill it, we get a 2/2 out of the deal, so not bad. Oh. Well, we could do Turgid's Shadow here, but this seems like a great opportunity to do the Gladewalker. And then next turn, we'll see how I want to do this. Because I'm also fine trading Berserker for Firewalker, but if they have Run Amok, they can kill our thing, I guess. Well, I think I'll just block here. My thinking is that yeah, this is still fine. I think what we do now is play the Shadow, and we do the... We don't have a second black for Shadow, I just realized. Oh, that's going to be tough. Alright. I'm going to have to live with it. But if we do get a second black, we can do the Shadow at some point. If they do have run amok here, I'd much rather them run amok. I'd much rather them run amok now. That's probably the smarter one to boast. Okay. So we probably just jam a Rootless U now, because even if they kill it, we just get a 6/6. We're still just kind of hunting for a black mana. Sure. Okay, so we can do another Berserker. Still can't do the Turgid Shadow, and we can't do the Elder Hall, because we need 2 black for that. So... To think about this. So Braggart's going to be big enough. And I suppose the Raider would be 2. So I guess we do the Berserker and then we foretell the Jarl. This isn't great, but it's probably good enough. I'm going to take some damage here. And they actually have the mana to double boast, too, which is pretty good. Sure. That makes sense. So we got the War Master. Still, unfortunately, we're just... we're off that second black. So... hopefully they're off their second white. We're also a mana away from being able to buff our elves, but that's okay. Alright, let's see how they do this. So they're going to tap the U. So they don't have their second white. They do have the 4/4. Tapping that. So we'll jam a Jarl here. And I think the plan is to actually block here and then double block here. Because they buffed it, we got a 2/2. I was like, how did that happen? But I actually figured it out. It's because they buffed it. That's interesting. All right, so we play an Outrider and pass. We're still just sort of patiently waiting for Turgid Shadow to come up here. Raise the Draugr admittedly looks really good right now too. So they can double boast as well, which is going to bring their Raider up to a 6/6. But we'll have to see what they tap. I mean, tapping the U probably makes the most sense. You can only boast once. It's important to know. Wonder if I needed to bring in... I probably needed to re-examine my mana base. I didn't think about that. That's kind of interesting. This isn't going to pan out that well for them. So I'm happy to make some trades here. We're still just like, yeah, now they're just toast. Even if they have a steal effect, we're not dead, so this is fine. Wow, that's a good one. Let's go this. Plus this. See what we get. Let's get the War Master back, shall we? Alright, sweet. So we ended up going 3-0 with this sweet deck. Played really well. I mean, we had the War Master, we had the Herald Unites the Elves, and obviously having both of those is great. We had plenty of elves, so deck played really well for us. Managed to beat some pretty good decks too, so pretty happy. All right, hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you for the next one.